At 5:30 in the morning, 23-year-old Amy Bradley was dozing on the balcony of her family's cruise ship cabin. By 6 a.m., she was gone. She'd left her sandals and her room key behind, but her cigarettes and lighter were missing. What happened in that 30-minute window on the open sea has fueled a mystery that has now spanned decades, with chilling theories far more terrifying than simply falling into the waves. This is the story of a family vacation that became an enduring nightmare case, filled with strange sightings, questionable actions by the crew, and the haunting possibility that Amy is still out there. In March 1998, the Bradley family, Ron, Ivan, and their 2 adult children, Brad and Amy, were on a week-long Caribbean cruise aboard the Royal Caribbean ship, Rhapsody of the Seas. For Amy, a recent college graduate from Virginia, it was a well-deserved celebration. She was a talented athlete and a trained lifeguard, and everyone who knew her said she was excited about the trip. The night of March 23rd was the third of the cruise. The ship was buzzing with energy, and Amy and her brother, Brad, spent hours at the ship's nightclub, dancing and hanging out with other passengers and the ship's band, Blue Orchid. The last family member to see her was her brother. After they left the club, they went back to their cabin and sat on the private balcony, talking for a while. Brad remembers their last words to each other before he went inside to sleep were, "I love you." A couple of hours later, around 5:30 a.m. on March 24th, their father, Ron, woke up. He saw Amy asleep in a deck chair on the balcony as the ship sailed toward its next port of call, Curacao. He went back to sleep for just a moment, but when he woke again at 6 a.m., Amy was gone. The family's first thought was that she'd gone up on deck to get a better view of the ship docking. But as the minutes ticked by, their unease twisted into pure panic. The Bradleys immediately told the ship's crew that Amy was missing. They begged the staff to delay passengers from disembarking once they docked in Curacao, convinced that if something had happened, the person responsible could just walk off the ship. Their request was delayed until after most of the passengers had already left. The family described the crew's initial search as chaotic and incomplete. For instance, a full search of all passenger cabins wasn't conducted right away. The captain suggested that Amy had probably gone ashore or, tragically, fallen overboard. Heartbroken and desperate, the family got off the ship in Curacao to wait for any news. For 4 agonizing days, the Netherlands Antilles Coast Guard searched the surrounding waters but found no sign of Amy. Caribbean also chartered a boat and helicopters to help, but the search was fruitless. Authorities initially leaned toward the theory that Amy had an accident and fell overboard, or had died by suicide. Her family has always fiercely rejected this. Amy was an excellent swimmer and lifeguard who, according to her brother, wasn't even a fan of being in the open ocean. Plus, the balcony railings were high, making an accidental fall seem unlikely. As the official search wound down, the Bradleys were left with the horrifying belief that their daughter had fallen into the sea she'd been taken. The first and most straightforward is that Amy fell overboard. It was early. She might have been disoriented after a night of fun, and a tragic accident isn't out of the question. However, investigators found no evidence that she fell or was pushed, and the ship was nearing the coast. The second theory is that she chose to disappear to start a new life. But this seems highly improbable. She left without her shoes or any of her belongings, and had a future she was looking forward to. Her family insists she never would have left without telling them. This leads to the third and most sinister theory: foul play. One possibility is that she was harmed by someone on the ship and thrown overboard. In this scenario, attention is often focused on a member of the ship's band, Alistair "Yellow" Douglas, who was seen dancing with Amy. While Douglas claimed he parted ways with her around 1 a.m., some passengers reported seeing them together on an upper deck between 5:30 and 6 a.m., shortly before she vanished. Douglas was questioned by the FBI, but no evidence has ever definitively linked him to her disappearance. The theory that her family believes is that Amy was abducted and sold into human trafficking. Her brother, Brad, noted that some of the waitstaff had paid notably attentive attention to Amy. The family also made a strange claim. Professional photos they had taken on the ship had mysteriously vanished when they went to collect them. This theory is bolstered by a series of disturbing potential sightings in the years that followed. For nearly 30 years, this case has been fueled by tips from the public. This is it's so important to keep telling these stories. If you believe shedding light on unsolved cases like this is important, consider subscribing to the channel. Your support really does make a difference. The years following Amy's disappearance have been marked by a series of strange and tantalizing clues. In August 1998, a Canadian tourist on a beach in Curacao saw a woman who strongly resembled Amy right down to her unique tattoos, walking with two men. He said she seemed like she wanted to talk to him before the men aggressively guided her away. A year later, in 1999, a U.S. Navy petty officer reported an even more chilling encounter at a brothel in Curacao. He claimed a woman approached him, said her name was Amy Bradley, and begged for help, saying she was being held against her will. He didn't report it at the time, only realizing the significance after seeing her case in a magazine years later. Then, in 2005, the most haunting clue of all emerged. The Bradley family received an email with photos of a woman who went by Jess from a Caribbean escort website. The woman bore a shocking resemblance to Amy. While the FBI couldn't definitively confirm it was her, some analysis suggested it was. That same year, another witness claimed to have been in a department store bathroom in Barbados when a group of men entered and threatened a woman who looked just like Amy. For years, the case grew cold. But in July 2025, a 3-part Netflix documentary, Amy Bradley is Missing, thrust the case back into the global spotlight. The series generated hundreds of new leads for the FBI and the Bradley family, reigniting interest in the case and providing a new wave of hope. Today, nearly 3 decades later, Amy Bradley is still missing. Though she was declared legally dead in 2010, her case remains an active FBI investigation. The recent attention from the Netflix documentary has injected new energy into the search. Her brother, Brad, has also become a vocal advocate, recently alleging that a cruise ship video editor was pressured to remove footage of Amy from tapes shortly after she disappeared. The theories continue to swirl. Was it a tragic accident, a voluntary escape, or a violent abduction? For the Bradley family, the answer has always been clear. They believe their daughter was taken from them and have never given up hope that she might still be alive. They, along with the FBI, are offering a reward for information. The FBI offers up to $25,000 for information leading to a recovery or the conviction of those responsible. Amy Bradley's story is a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers that can lie just beneath the surface of a perfect vacation. It's a story of a family's unbreakable love and their relentless fight for answers. And it's a mystery that began in a 30-minute window on the open sea, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and a silence that is, for those who love her, deafening. If you have any information about the disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley, you are urged to contact your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy. You can submit a tip anonymously.